Hello, this is Tavis DeSormiers with Trigo Grade School in Waukene, and this is my Safe School Audit. I'll begin with the demographics of Trigo Grade School. And what you'll find is we have an enrollment at the grade school of 278. Um, our race and ethnicity is 94, almost 95% white. Uh, we have about 35% free and reduced lunches, and our students with disabilities about 30%. So we have a lot of students on IEPs in comparison with what the state average is. Pretty well equal, just like the norm for boys to girls ratio. And our teacher qualifications were 100% of highly qualified. For our facility, Trigo Grade School has about 60,000 square feet of elementary space. We have several different distinct areas of construction. The building is constructed of brick and block. The building contains a new standing seam metal roof constructed over the existing roof structure. All windows have been upgraded to modern thermally broken aluminum, double paned with dark tinting. That was completed in the year of 2005. The building consists of several areas of construction. In 1950 was majority of this area right here was constructed. In 1953, the gymnasium in this classroom was added. In 1959, this wing and this area was constructed. And in 1974, this area over here of rooms was added on. Finally, 1985 is when we added the junior high, what we call the junior high area, which basically consists of 4 classrooms and 2 restrooms. Most of the heating that was in the initial completed section was done with boilers. The boilers were there until the year of 1994 when they were added new boilers. These pictures aren't really what I was hoping for, but if you can see them at all, those are the boilers that were added in 1994. Basically, what happened a few years ago were the boilers started going out. Even though we did a number of preventative maintenance and we had our own staff member that could work on boilers, they started to deteriorate, and we needed to decide what we were going to do. At that time in January of 2011, we brought in a company called 360 Energy Engineers, and they did a complete facilities audit. They went through everything as far as with our heating and air, and they also went through all of our lighting issues. If we go back to the drawing, in 2005, a number of air conditioners, all the windows and all the doors were replaced throughout the whole building. You'll see better pictures of it here in a little bit, but just to scan around, all of this area is windows, and all of those were replaced. What they did was they added it was the traditional classrooms where you had self-contained air conditioning units. The ductwork was added, everything was added in 2005 to get it up to speed, and on all the air conditioners were added. What they also did, they installed cooling to each room and basically put them in the classrooms. I don't have it exactly marked out, but inside the classrooms there were closets built to house these units. Basically, there was also this area has its own heating and air unit up on top of the ceiling, or up on top of the roof, and that was added in 2002. The lighting units, if you could see this picture at all, you can see that we had the old T12 fluorescent fixtures throughout, and those were replaced with T8 and also automated lighting in the gymnasiums. This was a wonderful feature. It cost about $500,000 to do all of this work throughout the district, but the average cost is savings amounted to $68,000 a year. This work was completed in 2012, of August of 2012. So we've been able to reap the benefits for about a year now. It's really been nice. The biggest thing for my teachers is they have to get used to a different type of heating system, but they all have their own thermostats in each one of the rooms, which has really been nice. Moving on to areas of concern, this is the back of the school where, just like most people, here's our dumpster right here. And not until I did a lot of the readings in my eyes, I guess, my aha moment that we talk about, but the dumpster right here is an area of concern where people might possibly hop up on that and then scale their way up onto the roof. This is a portable unit and probably going to have to look at housing that in some way. This was a comparison picture at night, and you can see that we have poor lighting in this area. One of the things that we are doing, and it was just approved at the last board meeting, was cameras are going to be added throughout. It was approved that we will have 12 indoor cameras and 8 outdoor cameras. These outdoor cameras will have infrared and they will be motion censored. So that was a cost of about $12,000. So we are addressing these issues where it's kind of concealed and not able to monitor all the time. But it was really cool after taking this class that kind of realized the need for these things. Moving on to the area of interest, area of interest right here. This right here is our east side of our building, and what we do with this area, this is actually where the buses come along and are able to pick up the students where no other traffic is taking place. So students are very safe in this area and they're able to pick up and drop off in this area. With this picture over here on the right hand side, this is our main entrance, so to speak, on the west side of the building, and this is where our kindergarten rooms are. I mentioned about the glass, you can see it kind of throughout, but this area of concern right here was also, I guess, my aha moment in looking at this cement. Over the years, the salt has deteriorated the cement terrible. We put that as a #1 priority for our capital outlay project, and it's been approved. It's going to cost about $10,000 to replace all of this area, but there's tripping hazards and different things that we noticed. Show you another picture right here in the front on the south side of the school, and there's potholes. I know you can't see them very well, but there's potholes in some of these areas that need to be addressed as well. I put this as an area of interest in some of the reading that I did for this class. It talked about the need for identification of signs and things like that, and we've added this sign a few years ago. You can't really see the eagle that well at night, but it does light it up a little bit and kind of welcomes you and invites you to the school. 2 summers ago in 2011, I added this fence all the way around the school playground area. It was very concerning to me how easy it would be for students during recess to come into this street. Even though it's not a high trafficked area, it definitely was an area of concern. So we blocked that off so balls can't run out in there, and also people that are walking along the street can't access into the building as easily. We, in looking also at our areas of concern, back in this area, ways that we've been trying to fund some of the things that we knew that we wanted to get done. We have fundraisers through our PTO. Our PTO was added, parent teacher organization was added about 4 years ago, and this helps open our eyes through the help with site councils and things like that as far as what needs to be done, what their areas of concern are. We've been able to utilize things with matching grants and also community efforts in bringing them in. When I go back to this facility observation and the work that was done with 360, we did a wonderful job of including one of our patrons who is kind of an expert in the heating and air department, and we gave him a contract, and he worked one-on-one with 360 as far as what he saw were needs that needed to be addressed. He's an expert in the field. We were able to give him a contract to show our thanks, but he wanted to do it. He was an old board member, but it was kind of neat in partnering with him to get some of this stuff done. Some of our areas of interest right here, or I'm sorry, this picture with our areas of interest. I mentioned the busing. I also wanted to point out that we use our paras in this area too to help with crossing of the streets with our little ones and things like that. What we just finished up with a couple of weeks ago that I wanted to point out with our long-range strategic planning, this was done with 14 community members that were invited in. They were our site council members and then anyone else that wanted to take advantage of this opportunity. What they did was they partnered with KASB. Dr. Meckel came out and worked with them on a Saturday from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. They were able to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that they feel is with Trigo Grade School. You know, we're a small community, and the biggest thing about us is that our school is our community, and it's very important to get information from the community members. Things that they pointed out, I'll just start with the strengths, is that they were obviously, we have quality teachers and personnel. We have great facilities. That was mentioned by all groups. These groups were divided into 4 different groups of 3. And then 1 group of 5. But basically they pointed out that our strengths were our facilities, small class size, current technology, and our learning environment. Weaknesses that were pointed out over and over was retention of staff. In a community like ours, we want to be able to attract youthful, excellent, qualified teachers, but we need to be able to retain them. So that was pointed out, and some offerings as to how to retain them were given as well. They wanted to, one of our weaknesses was communication, you know, and this probably is pointed out with a majority of schools, but it's one of them that we're going to continue to work through. Our opportunities that we have for communication is we have an excellent website, trigoeagles.com. We have Alert Now that can communicate with people, so we are working on this, but we understand that communication is a two-way street, and we hope that they'll take that as well and do that opportunity. Opportunities, you know, we're the only school in our county, and so we're not going anywhere. We're going to take advantage of some of our facilities that we have in the community and maybe help our numbers grow. We have an excellent location right along I-70. Our threats to our school are we are close to Hayes. Some people have you know, decided that it might be better just to live in Hayes. Our funding and our numbers are going down, so that's all kind of can be a weakness. I'll close this with our main entrance. It's a circle drive right in here. Very proud of our facilities. That's what drew me here 9 years ago from Eastern Kansas. I saw the potential that we have, and hopefully we can maintain what we have and even start growing a little bit. This has been just a neat little project that we've been able to do with this audit. Opened my eyes and hopefully allowed us to address some of these issues. Thank you.